with aplomb. Arun Sundaram joins me on the phone right now. Arun, let's speak broadly here. We're seeing Ramesh Jarakiholi talking in favor of a possible change, if at all that is possible. We're talking about Chelluvaraya coming in as well. There seems to be some semblance of a lack of unity in where the party's position is as far as the status quo.
Well, we don't know what is really forcing these kind of comments to come in. On the one hand, as you rightly pointed out, everyone is talking of a status quo, but they are echoing their viewpoint on a leadership change and backing a person who reportedly said that I'm okay, I'm willing to become the chief minister. And the list of people who are backing him seems to be increasing by the day. Yesterday you had the likes of H.M. Revanna, you had the likes of none other than Ramesh Jarakiholi batting for him, and today you have former legislators, and that includes Chelluvaraya, who has backed the move. So clearly it does look like a case where are they doing or are they resorting to posturing, grand posturing, but not taking it logically to its ultimate end, or is it something else? But nonetheless, this has now gripped the political observers of the state, and they're trying to decipher the meaning that's coming out of this development, to say the least, Nikhil.
No, it seems to be a rather interesting development, isn't it, Arun? Especially in light of the fact that throughout all of this, we're forgetting to speak about one man, and that is the sitting Chief Minister, H.D. Kumaraswamy himself. With all of these talks coming up, is there speculation of dissatisfaction over the functioning of Kumaraswamy?
Well, unfortunately enough, even the incumbent chief minister has been a little bit wary. He did go and make a remark on a public forum, going on to say in as many words that, look, there is this talk suggesting that probably something could happen on September 3rd, and that a new chief minister or a new government head could take charge, etc. But at the same time, he's assuaged the feelings of people, particularly the JDS cadres, going on to say that this is a coalition government which will last its full term of 5 years. So instead of perhaps focusing on this kind of rumor mongering, it is high time that everyone puts their head down and they focus on this big issue that's facing the state of Karnataka at this point of time, and that is the rain-ravaged district of Kodagu and the problem relating to flooding even in different parts of the state. That needs to be addressed, because you cannot have this situation where you have surplus or too much of one thing, and the flood-hit people or residents of the state are pondering what's going to happen and how the relief is going to come by their way, Nikhil.
Thank you, Arun, for joining us with these insights. We'll now slip into a quick break. More news and updates on the other side. Stay tuned.
पहलवान जैसी ताकत, साइंटिस्ट जैसा तेज दिमाग, स्वस्थ हृदय, आंखों की ज्योति, लंबी आयु और ग्लोइंग स्किन के लिए गाय का घी ही सर्वश्रेष्ठ है। लेकिन ये फायदे तभी हैं जब घी शुद्ध हो। पतंजलि गाय का शुद्ध देसी घी खाइए, अपने मासूम बच्चों और परिवार को मिलावट के जहर से बचाइए।
सारे BHK बंगलोज विलास फ्लैट्स हटके जिसकी जैसी चॉइस सबकी मिलेगी चॉइस।
This Raksha Bandhan, celebrate the loving bond of a brother and sister with jewellery from IMA Jewels. Enjoy 0% on making charges, 0% on stone charges and 0% on wastage charges. Offer valid from 26th to the 28th of August at IMA Jewels on Lady Curzon Road and Jayanagar 4th Block. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. Big news coming in. Government mulling over bringing new advertisement policy. That's the latest coming in. A new advertisement policy being mulled over by the government. Advertisers affected by recent High Court order bringing down all flexes across the city are likely to approach court. The state government is mulling over coming up with a new policy before court cracks down on them as well. That's the latest coming in. Advertisers affected by the recent High Court order are likely to approach court, with the state government mulling over coming up with a new policy before the court cracks down on advertisers as well. So there are a lot of banners and flexes as well as billboards that are with permission to put up. So here we have this update coming in. Pratibha joins me on the phone for more on this. Go ahead, Pratibha, tell us. Now, there are a lot of advertisements and billboards that have permission to be put up as well, and they were likely to be affected by the High Court decision as well. So what is the status of this particular issue now?
That's right, Nikhil. We remember that from after the High Court order, the BBMP was spurred into action and about 15,000 flexes across the city were brought down within hours. So now the BBMP has also been asked to come up with a new advertising policy, and it has to be submitted to the High Court by the 31st of this month. And that's the reason why the BBMP has already started formulating this policy. It's working for the deadline, the 31st of August, and it has come up with this new plan. So the BBMP has decided to go through the ad policies of the other countries as well to take a look at what it could be like and to see if they can implement the same policies that the other countries are following, to see if that can also be followed in Bengaluru. So countries like Brazil, France, the US, England, Japan, Australia, these are the places where the BBMP has conducted a survey to know what the ad policy is like. They also studied what the policy is like in Delhi as well as Mumbai. And after analyzing the policies of all of these places, the BBMP has decided to more or less zero in on Singapore's policy. But a lot of criticism has come in as well, and there are several advertisers, like you mentioned, who have been affected by the High Court order. Several of these that also had permission were also brought down, and there seems to be an absolute chaos within the BBMP itself on what should be done. Yes, in a way it was good that the BBMP finally brought down these flexes, but there is no concrete plan on what needs to be done. So there was a lot of confusion. So a lot of these advertisers who had got the required permission for erecting these flexes are also likely to approach the High Court in this regard and seek a clarity on the same. So the state government is deciding to come up with a policy, so there could be a roadblock with a few also questioning the same. Many activists have also already questioned the BBMP regarding how you can blindly follow the ad policy of Singapore when our city might be very different from Singapore itself, from the cities in Singapore. So it can't blindly copy these policies. Of course, more clarity on what the policy is like exactly is still awaited, and that's likely to be submitted on August 31st. So all eyes are going to be on the BBMP to submit this report, and based on that, perhaps the other advertisers who are hit by this are also likely to approach the High Court. So clearly, it's not going to be a smooth running for the Palike. There's going to be resistance from the ad board owners as well who have been affected by this. So let's wait for August 31st when we'll get more details on what exactly the BBMP has planned as well as what's expected next, Nikhil.
Thank you, Pratibha, for joining us with these details. Now we have some big news coming in with the army allegedly obstructing development work by the BBMP. This is what the BBMP has alleged. This is speculation that has come in from the BBMP side itself, the stopping of work being undertaken on defence land in Kawal Bhairasandra. That is what has just been put up. Defence personnel have said that they haven't received any instruction from the ministry yet, but the state government was to take up development work from the Kawal Bhairasandra area to Modi Garden at a cost of 16 crore rupees, and Nirmala Sitharaman had promised the allotment of defence land to the BBMP to undertake repair of storm water drains. But the BBMP, or some quarters within the BBMP, are alleging that the army has come in the way of this, while the army themselves have stated that this is not instructed to them from any higher-ups. This has not been communicated to them. So there seems to be a confusion as to whether there was a U-turn made by the Defense Ministry, or the very fact that a misunderstanding has arisen, but controversy continues at the Kaval Bhairasandra area, which is demarcated as defense land. And during Nirmala Sitharaman's recent visit to Bengaluru a few weeks ago, there was a discussion that was had with the Chief Minister as well, and in that discussion, transfer of defense land to the city was discussed extensively. Now, Mayor Sampath Raj's statement at the BBMP Council meeting seems to have taken everyone by surprise. Let the former Prime Minister Vajpayee take birth again and join the Congress. This is exactly what Mayor Sampath Raj stated. Now, Mayor made the statement during a condolence program at the BBMP Council meeting. Former Prime Minister Vajpayee was spoken about at the council briefly, and during this time, Mayor Sampath Raj stated that such a man should be born again, but if so, he should be joining the Congress party. A rather interestingly bizarre statement coming in from the mayor with the circumstances surrounding the event itself at the council. Making such a statement has raised a lot of eyebrows. The bad news for Bengalurians, BBMP likely to collect an extra transport cess of 2%. This, of course, is under deliberation right now at the council meeting. Transport Minister DC Tamanna had asked the BBMP to collect the transport cess from members of the public as the BMTC was suffering losses due to poor condition of the roads. Widespread opposition was expressed over the issue. However, the proposal is slated for discussion in today's council meeting. Already, severe criticism has been leveled against the Transport Ministry and the BMTC for raising of bus fares and lack of clarity for bus passes for students. And this additional cess of 2% may not go down very well. Good news so for Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy, at least. In the Arkavati layout land denotification case, he has been acquitted of all charges that were first levelled against him in the year 2012. He has been acquitted of the charge of illegally denotifying the large tract of land while he was Chief Minister in the previous edition, more than a decade ago. The charges were levelled against him under the Yediyurappa administration in the year 2012. Along with him, Jyoti Ramalingam, Ravi Prakash and Sri Ram have been acquitted in the case as well. So this was being described as an axe that was hanging over the Chief Minister for the last 6 years. But the special court set up for legislators, MPs and ministers has acquitted H.D. Kumaraswamy of all charges. Now, High Court has dismissed the plea of Mohammad Nalapad, where he had requested permission to travel to the United Kingdom for a period of 15 days. The High Court directed Nalapad to instead file a plea in the Sessions Court, where he was first found to have been charged. Mohammad Nalapad, the son of Shantinagar MLA N.A. Harris, applied for permission to travel to London for a period of 15 days. He is accused in the assault case of a man named Vidwat in the month of February 2018. After more than 100 days under custody, he was granted bail, but that was under the condition that he would not be allowed to leave the country. A pro-Kannada activist Vatal Nagaraj and his supporters tried to lay siege to Raj Bhavan today. They demanded that the state government release funds immediately to Kodagu and that the central government should also pitch in. The protesters also opposed the stepmotherly attitude of the centre and demanded that Prime Minister Modi visit Kodagu just as he visited the state of Kerala and had an aerial survey, considering that Kodagu too suffered the brunt of heavy flooding, landslides and heavy rains that ravaged the district. Here are pro-Kannada activists, including members of the Karnataka Rakshana Vedike, involved in the protest. Now, heavy rains have not only affected lives of residents but has also dented tourism, which the district is famous for. Owners of hotels, homestays were all requesting the Deputy Commissioner to allow tourists to get into Madikeri as their businesses were incurring huge losses. However, the state of the roads being like what you're seeing on the left of your screen, it has been rendered rather unpliable and would be a danger and a hindrance for tourists. But this has also affected businesses across the district.
Now, by this natural calamity, the total the travelers coming to Kodagu has been stopped. One thing, like everywhere it has been projected like Kodagu has been completely destroyed. No, this is completely wrong. The one part of Kodagu, as our friends are telling, 5% of the few villages, around 9 villages have been really damaged and the road connectivity has been completely destroyed. Now the Hoteliers Association, Resort Association, even the Tourism Association have been working with the district authority to resolve this in the rescue work. We have been accommodating all the officials and the police, everybody who have been come from the different districts to Kodagu to for the rescue operation. We have been completely cooperating with them. But now the DC has, district authority has issued a statement like until 30th. The 31st, the travelers are not allowed and they will not to provide any rooms. Okay, we are cooperating with that. But if this situation again it continues for another 10 days or a month, totally economic activity in Kodagu is going to be still. Everybody are going to be affected, even the plantations, everything. Because even to provide a coffee, we are depending on the agriculturists. Everybody are affected. So we are requesting to, we are cooperating till 31st. Let this order not to be extended further. This is our request. Right.
Maybe in 7-8 villages, lot of property loss is there. Estates have gone, landslides happen, property planters' houses have happened, all lost, and all things are there. But as far as the hotel association is concerned, this is DC has stipulated an order that up to 31st, no guests are allowed. As per that, all the hotels are being closed, are used for the rescue operation team, like police, like doctors. Whoever come, we are accommodating free of cost to those people. And only we requested DC that we want this to be, should not be extended further. And otherwise, the economy of tourism will not develop. Almost all the shops, hotels, spice shops, entire thing of Kodagu has been stopped already for 15-20 days. Right. Further, it will damage, and the employees working there also get affected. Maybe in someone.
Now, educational institutions are resuming function in Kodagu. Schools and colleges had a break of 20 days because of the ravaging weather, the floods that completely ruined the entire district. Authorities have been asked to enroll students in institutions near relief centers. And the DC has also asked authorities to ensure maximum enrollment of students in residential schools just so that they're not losing out on education. The gaps are filled as quickly as possible. But at the same time, while schools and colleges have reopened, this is the pathetic state of colleges and schools as a result of the heavy rains. Water still continuing to leak through walls and ceilings and dripping right through. Floors are covered with water as well, and stagnating water is causing a grave smell and a hindrance to the health of students. So certainly a lot of work that has to be done to restructure some of these schools, as well as also bring to book for construction. But at the same time, students are happy to be back, much relieved after several days of uncertainty as far as their education was concerned because of the natural calamity. That's a wrap on this edition of the Bulletin. We have a News 9 special on the other side.
After the country witnessed devastation in the two states of South India, Kerala and Karnataka, the rains have now moved up north. The devastation caused by the rains in Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir are something that the country did not expect. Take a look. Another catastrophe awaits India.